Erik Karlsson of the San Jose Sharks will be having a hearing with NHL player safety for an illegal check to the head. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the hit and give you my reaction and my opinion whether or not he should be suspended. We'll discuss all that coming up next. So as I mentioned off the top, San Jose Sharks defenseman Erik Karlsson is having a hearing today for an illegal check to the head that happened yesterday versus the Los Angeles Kings. Now, as I record this video, it's been confirmed that the hearing will be taking place today, but we don't have the verdict as of yet, whether or not he's going to be suspended, fined, or what the outcome is going to be. Normally, when there is a hearing, obviously there will be something that will result from that. As we know, Erik Karlsson does not have any kind of history being suspended in the NHL in the past, so obviously that's going to go in his favor as well. Now, if you haven't had a chance to take a look at the hit that happened versus the LA Kings, I'll show a clip of it here so you can see what we're talking about. Now, as you can probably agree, this is a hit that we see all the time. This is something that we've seen Erik Karlsson do numerous times. I mean, being somebody who has followed the Senators quite closely and watched him a lot during his time in Ottawa, it's a hit I've seen Karlsson do probably at least 100 times over again during his NHL career. I mean, there's plenty of times when he steps up to the blue line and will certainly make a hit very similar to that. Now, the only difference here is he did get a lot of shoulder-to-shoulder contact, but because the other player had his head down, there is head contact as well. Now, you could probably make the argument that it might not really be his fault the head contact is made. It certainly didn't look malicious at all. He didn't go out of his way, to be any kind of headhunter. There's certainly nothing like that. I don't think there's any intent there at all. Because it's a hit we've seen him do many times over again. It's just unfortunate because of the positioning of both players that he did not get all shoulder. He did get some head contact as well. And as you can see, the Kings player was certainly looking quite woozy and is likely concussed. Now, obviously, the fact that the player is injured, unfortunately, will play a role in the decision here by player safety. But again, obviously, I don't see a whole lot coming from this, but because there was some contact with the head, as I've said with a lot of these other types of incidents that's happened, when there is head contact, I mean, it seems like they should be wanting to, offer supplementary discipline and suspend, but we don't see it all the time. For example, not that long ago, we were talking about a hit that happened to Vancouver Canucks defenseman Troy Stecher from Danik Martel of the Tampa Bay Lightning. In case you didn't see that one, here's a quick look at that. Of course, that hit happened just not too long ago. We discussed it here. I thought for sure Martel would be suspended at least a game or two. I mean, he's fairly new to the NHL, doesn't have a prior history. But in my opinion, that's clear contact to the head. But yet there was no hearing, no suspension, nothing at all that resulted from that. So I don't really understand why we get such inconsistency here with NHL player safety. Now, in the Karlsson situation as well, there was no penalty called on the play. I mean, normally, because of the way that the puck was coming through, for the most part, you can't really say it's interference. The hit's not late. It's not blindsided. It's just unfortunate that there is head contact delivered, in my opinion, there. So I guess more than likely, based on what we are supposed to see from NHL and the NHL player safety, I would think with Karlsson not having a prior history that he could be suspended 1 or 2 games here. But based on other calls, like we saw with Martel, like I just showed you on Troy Stecher in Vancouver, maybe he won't be, but then again, there wasn't even no hearing in the other one. So it seems like sometimes you could just like spin the wheel and see what the answer is going to be. They're very hard to predict, and I don't really understand it. I find it very frustrating. If they want to create true player safety and they want to really, have a supplementary discipline for all headshots, it doesn't matter if it's intended or not. The fact is, the players need to be careful out there. It's a fast game. It's a rough game. Things happen quickly, and sometimes they have time to avoid it, and sometimes they just don't. Sometimes they're just unfortunate accidents. It's really, all types of those situations that we see in the NHL. That's just the way it is. And many people have said, you do need to keep your head up, but at the same time, if you do accidentally look down, you shouldn't necessarily expect a check to the head. But I wish we would see the NHL kind of have a blanket approach here and treat all of these equally But in my opinion, that does not happen, and I don't really understand why that is. So I guess I want your opinion here. Should Erik Karlsson face suspension here? I mean, if you compare it to the other hit that happened between Tampa and Vancouver, I would say no, he shouldn't. But based on the general consensus and rules that they want to eliminate headshots from the game, it doesn't matter if he intended to get him in the head or not. There should be something given out. So leave your comments down below, and we'll continue the conversation. If you're new to the channel here, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and there's plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up before you go. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.